Well, welcome back to my FlipaClip tutorials. And today we are going to talk about Soundboard. Soundboard equals the sound for your animation. Now, there are four different kinds of sound. You have music, you have voice, you have inanimate objects like boing, crash, pop, and then you have the background sound, things that happen in the background, like the city or the city sounds, the honking of the cars, or the classroom making noises, or the cheering section, so background noises. So there are four different kinds of sound. You can do original sound, where it comes from you, yourself. You create your own music, you create your own pops, popping a balloon or blowing inside a balloon, or you clap your hands, or you create your own background noises like running across the room, or you have unoriginal sound. Using the music from somewhere, using sound from YouTube, things like that. So there are sound that comes from everywhere, but you would need to remember you need to credit every single sound that you use in your animation. So today we're going to click on an existing animation. I'm going to click on the stick figure bouncing ball. And here you see that I already have something created, so I will go ahead and play it. All right, so you have my stick figure and bouncing ball. We're going to add some unoriginal sound to it, and then we're going to add some original sound to it, okay? So first we're going to do original, straight from me. And what we're going to do is there's this little icon down here that is a music note. We're going to click on that. And then you'll come up to something that's a soundboard. Now you have different rows here for as much sound as you want. I usually separate them from character, maybe effects, and maybe the background, things like that, so they're not overlapping each other or cancel each other out. You have these different icons up here. You have this one, the first one, to use an audio library. Then you have one where you are recording here. Then you have this last one where this feature is locked, so we won't be able to use that by purchasing audio or importing your own audio. So the best way that I would say to do your audio is simply record it. Now, when I do my own original, you would click and hold and say, hey now, how's it going? So now you have an audio here, and you click play. Hey now, how's it going? And so there is some feedback at the beginning that I do not want. So I can literally take care of that. And now it is, hey now, how's it going? And so now you have your audio. If I don't like that, I can just press this backspace and discard. And now I am ready to record again. So I'm just going to say something like boing, boing, boing. Here we go for my bouncing ball. Boing, 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 boing. And I'm going to stop there, and this is how it sounds. Boing, 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 boing. Now, what I can do is take off all of that extra boing and just have this first one. Boing. I'm going to put a little bit more in front of that. Boing. And I have my audio that I actually want, okay? So I have my audio here. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put it at the top, very top here. And I'm going to allow it to play. Boing. Now, it's not going with any of my sound. Did you see that lag? Boing. That's horrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where it boings. Now, I'm going to click and hold and find where it hits the floor. Let's see. It's going to hit it right there. And I'm going to line it up with that frame. Going to put that up there. Let's restart it and boing. Did you see that? Let's restart it again and boing. That was perfect. Now, instead of adding so many boing, boing, boings, I can click, hold, You're going to click and hold it or click on it. Actually, you're going to click on it twice like that. And you have a copy button. And you also have a splice button. Say that I didn't like something in there and I didn't like that beginning. I click on it and splice it, and now I have two different recordings there. I can backspace that. You can also delete it if you don't like it, or you can rename it. So before I copy it, I'm going to label this one boing sound. Boing sound. So I can remember what it is. And so we're going to rewind that again. Boing. I like that. And now I'm going to find a place where it hits the ceiling right there. Copy. And I'm going to move it right there. So now we have boing, boing. Did you see that? Rewind. Boing, boing. That's what I want. So now I'm going to find where it hits the ground again. And that's where it hits the ground. So I'm going to copy, or I'm going to click on it. Click that copy button. Move that track where I want it to be for it to boing. I'm going to find anything else. Let's see, I don't have any more boings. So rewind and boing, boing, boing. Did you see that? Boing, 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 boing. And now I have my first sound, okay? So now I'm going to do something for maybe the splash. If you don't want to hear all this, boing, boing, you can click on this top icon there to shut off the sound for a little bit and find where you want to be. So it looks like I have like a swoop sound there, like. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sucking sound. And so I'll go back to my microphone and I'm going to, okay, here we go. Click and hold. All right, so it sounds like. So I'm going to drag right over there and then drag this area and see what that sounds like. Okay, I like that. Instead of putting it somewhere up here, I'm going to move this one to my second row. And I'm going to label this slurp. Okay, slurp sound. All right, update that. Let's rewind and listen to it together. Boing, boing, boing. Did you see that? Boing. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's turn off the sound. Does that slurp sound, and then it's going to come right back up right there. And I think I'm going to put my slurp sound right in there. Okay, so let's rewind it. Make sure you turn on the sound and boing, boing, boing. Okay, now for that last sound, let's turn that sound off. For that last one, I think I want a good splash. So I'm going to do something like psh. Okay, so I'm going to do maybe like whoop, then psh. Okay, so I'm going to make two different sounds there. So I'll do a whoop, maybe right there. Okay, I'm going to hit my mic and whoop. Let's go ahead and bring that together here and whoop. I like that. And since it's not really going any place or overlapping anything like the slurp sound would with that boing, I'm going to put that on the second row. I'm fine with that. And I'm going to call it a whoop sound. So here we go. I'm going to do a whoop sound there. I'm going to update that. And then I'm going to do a psh. So I'm going to put that right there. Here we go. Psh. Now it may not be that long. So we're going to do psh. There we go. That's good right there. And I don't want it to overlap. So I'm going to put it right there and call it a splash sound. So I'll say splash. and update. And let's restart. Now, if the sound is longer than the movie, as you can see all of this, that means I don't need all of that sound. I can literally just cut it off maybe right there. And instead of dragging it over, because you can if you like, if you want to drag it over, what I usually do, I click on the actual sound and I splice it. And now you have it cut in half and I just delete it. All right. And so let's start back over and here we go. Boing, 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 whoosh, boing, 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 whoosh, boing. There you go. Boing. Now, I don't like how that extra sound happens, so let's turn off all that sound. It kind of just shut off a little bit. And so what I can do is I can go back to my movie, look at my splash here, go to my frames viewer, and then copy, add some frames there to where it'll look like it is splashing. Press that X. Then I'll go back to my sound here. What I want to do is maybe drag this out. So I'm going to drag it out to where it sounds like. Yep. Boing, boing, boing. Whoosh. I like that. Boing, boing. And there you have how to make a soundboard using original sounds. Okay. Now, say that I wanted to do unoriginal sounds. So I'm going to turn off this sound and I'm going to turn off that sound. And I have a boing effect on my phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my mic here and I'm going to press and hold and then play this YouTube video. Did you hear that? So, just like that. And so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to move this to the third one, okay? So I'm going to find that boing right there. There's that boing. And I'm going to label this one boing 2, okay? I'm going to label that one boing 2. Boing and then 2, okay? Update. Now remember, I'm going to copy and find where it is boinging again. So right there, boing. And then we're going to copy and find that boing again. So there's another boing right there. All right. And then we're going to put, I see that I left my splash there. So instead, I'm going to move my splash this way. I'm going to move it up here so that it can be mute as well. And so I'm going to find maybe a slurping sound right there. So look on here. I'm going to find a slurping sound effect. And let's listen to this one. That's a good one. That makes me happy. And so let's go to our microphone, and sometimes I play it first and then I press and hold first and then I play it. So I do. That's good enough. And then we're going to play that. That's good right there. And so I'm going to find and drag it where my slurping is. I'm going to label this slurp. I'll label it slurp 2. I'm going to make this a little shorter and copy. I'm going to find our second slurp. There's our other one right there. And then I'm going to find a splash sound. So there's the splash. And so let me look for a splash sound. And we're going to play, let's see. That's a good one. I like that one. So Go back to our microphone, and that's good. I like that. We're going to put that there. Save that. We're going to put that splash somewhere, maybe on its own. And so we'll put it there. Call it splash. Splash. Oh, splash 2. Update. Now let's play it. And there you have your movie with your soundboard. So
I am a big fan of ABC Mouse. If you don't know,
now we have our full movie. Here we go. And there is the full movie. Remember, you will save it hitting the 3 dots, make movie, and then once you make your movie, you can save it to photos or go to more and save it anywhere here, also in Classroom. So have fun, enjoy Soundboard, and I will see you next time. Thank you.